What's going on, guys? I'm Colby.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Kai.
I'm Spence. I think this is the right one.
And here's Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Never mind.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one. Excluding a previous point. We created a game that's called Gorgos, which is set inside of a steampunk alternate past in Detroit 1920s that has been completely quarantined and ravaged by a disease called the Gorgos virus. And in our game, you're supposed to try and find the cure of the game and survive to the end. And hope you enjoyed this game. Now on to Kai for further details.
Yeah, as Anthony stated, our game is centered around a world that involves history, Greek mythology, and steampunk. There's many encounters into the game. You will come across enforcers, which are kind of like the bad guys who are trying to stop you from obtaining the cure. And later on, you will come across people who are infected, who are in the process of possibly turning into a full Gorgon, which will be the main enemy of the game. And then you will come across Gorgons. The concept of this game, as Anthony said, is to try and just survive and make it out with your team or without your team. You basically decide. So you're able to decide your own fate when you're playing this game. The cool part about it is that it's a game where worlds collide, essentially. You know, bringing in a lot of historical context, aspects of Greek mythology, and the awesome world of steampunk. So it's your choice on whether or not you want to make it out with your team or make it out as the only survivor. Now on to Colby.
Thanks, Kai. So what I'm going to be talking about is how to win and lose the game. And within our game, the form of currency is Steam, and there's only 500 collectively throughout the game, so you have to be sure to spend it wisely. And to win the game, you have to obtain the cure from the hospital and get back to the start to get out of Detroit on the airship. But the thing is, though, you need to spend your Steam wisely, because out of all the players that are left alive, you have to have 100 Steam to collectively to get on the airship. And you have to, it's just a tough decision, because there's the encounters along the way, like the infected people, enforcers, and Gorgons. So you can choose to run, or you can choose to fight and possibly spend too much Steam to where you and or your teammates won't be able to get off on the airship, and you won't survive. So yeah, the way you lose the game is, like I said earlier, you run out of Steam and you don't have enough Steam to get on the airship, or when you encounter the Gorgons on the way, and possibly they can infect you if you choose to fight them or run and they end up catching you, and you and all your teammates get infected, is the way to lose. But on the flip side, the Gorgon can win the very first person infected. If they infect everyone else, they win, and you lose. So it's kind of like it's a two-sided thing.
So for my part, I basically kind of helped design the map. I talked to one of my good friends who has taken some of Professor Long's classes before. And since the theme was Detroit, steampunk style, we decided to make the map in the shape of Detroit. And obviously Detroit during the 1920s was very industrialized, so we put the railroad in there, and then just made it old school style. Like we have Ford, we have General Steam, we have Chrysler Conglomerate. And on the board itself, you're going to find green spaces, yellow spaces, and red spaces. Red being bad, and kind of a Gorgon will spawn and kind of attack you. The yellow spaces, when you land on it, it can block you off, so you might have to go a different route, or one of the players is going to have to come and repair it, basically. And then the green, you can get an item or cash. And then I found this interesting in the middle, like when you look up the city of Detroit on Google Maps, there's a middle of the city that's just like kind of blocked off, and it's like a city within a city. So we decided to make that the hospital, and that's basically where you go find the cure.
All right, so making this game was a lot of fun. We took aspects of a previous game that I had created in way of the combat system, and of course making tweaks to it and making this its whole new thing. But the idea of going through a place to retrieve an item and then using resources to get it back is part that we took from one of our previous projects. And it was a lot of fun with my group here, creating this world and this game that I think we'll all really enjoy. And I think that it's be a very fun experience to those that play it at home.
Yeah, to agree with Anthony on that point, this really was a lot of fun. I mean, I think it would have been a lot more fun in person to be able to do this, but these Zoom chats were helping it, along the way. I think the the process of making the game turned out to be really fun, and I think the game concept itself will prove to be a very fun game to play. And in all honesty, I think what's very different about this one is the genres that we decided to build in to our little world, ability to basically determine your own fate as a player within the game, whether you want everybody to survive or just yourself.
What about you, Spence?
I had a lot of fun making it, meeting new friends. Obviously, I've been friends with Kai since day one of freshman year, but met Colby, met Anthony, met Matt too.
Sadly, Matt's gone.
So, yeah, on that note, yeah, like I said, I made some new friends in the class. We had a pretty fun time making it, especially, like, off the bat, as soon as we made our group, we had, like, the ideas were just flowing. I know Kai just opened up a document and just started typing, and, I mean, we got, like, the large majority, like, 75 to 80% of our ideas just from that first brainstorming day of, like, an hour and a half. And, Matt helped with that, too. And then, unfortunately, he may or may not have
Been terminated.
Disappeared. So yeah, but other than that, we had a pretty good time with it.
Yeah, and disclaimer too, Matt, he did help with this project. It was just pretty hard to get a hold of him as quarantine went into effect. So it's just a joke.
Yeah, we're just messing around.
We're just messing around, but overall, I think we all agree this was a pretty fun process.
Indeed.